What is wrong? Oh, there. Hello, hello. How is everyone this evening? Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Tuesday Terror on the Titanic. Just if you wouldn't mind, give me a minute here because I want to see if I can. I wanted to make this screen larger, but uh, this is the first time that I am using. We'll get it though. Hold on. Oh, that's what I wanted. I found it. Okay. All right. Having trouble connecting. How's that? Is that better? Doesn't appear to be very better though, does it? I'm trying to get a larger screen so I can see comments, so I can read them. I also have new glasses coming, but they're not ready yet. So, anyway, welcome to Titanic Tuesday Terror on the. There we are. There we are. Back again. I'm hoping. Hmm. Okay, come on now. Now it's frozen. All right. Maybe it doesn't want to be a large screen thing. So let's freaky dink it again. Maybe it's better this way. We'll see. Anyway, okay, so welcome to again Titanic Tuesday. Hi, my name is Sharon Schultz. I'm known as the Bay Lady because I do a lot of virtual tours highlighting the Chesapeake Bay area of Maryland. It's a beautiful place. And has a really interesting. I wonder what. Wonder if could be a storm or something. Who knows? Anyway, oh, there are some comments. Hey, all right, cool, and I can read them too. All right. Um, to it then. All right, about the Titanic. Okay, everybody is fascinated mysteries and myths surrounding the Titanic. I don't know if you have seen advertised on Facebook, Titanic letters. That's what I have here. I did subscribe to the series, and every 2 weeks I get a letter in the mail, and it's from different people, and they're telling a story in their letters. And I'm guessing that eventually all the pieces, just to keep everybody caught up here on the same page. So, characters that have been introduced thus far. The first one is, let's see if I can get her picture. Right, yeah, there we go. Miss Elise Fairchild. Oh, this is so as well, on the Titanic, and in the different cabin, and her fiance is a gentleman called Liam Cunningham. Company, or Harland and Wolff, who built the Titanic. They're shipbuilders. So he is one of the engineers, one of the people. So he is a voyage to make sure Lincoln confident to call her. Her name is Nora Flynn, and this is Miss Flynn here. Okay, Mr. Liam Cunningham. We keep freezing. Right there. There he is. And the last, he's a Brit, and he is actually having an affair with Miss Fairchild. Because these letters are to various people, and some of them are journal entries as well. The letters are written from aboard the Titanic. Okay. Um, our story began when the Titanic sailed. Okay. Um, That was, let's see, our first letter was on April 9th. Okay, so now the date is April 12th. Okay, and we're introducing a new character. This is Madeline Astor. Madeline Astor. Okay, now she is writing a letter from written to her mother. Okay, let me take it out of the folder here so I can see it better. Okay, here we go. All right, so my dearest mother, my dear sir, I sir, live are blooming as beautifully as I imagined. We are truly now at sea, and it is every bit as grand and exhilarating as John Jacob pointing to the gentle, almost imperceptible hum of the engine, a constant reassuring vibration that speaks of immense power, entirely safe, and yet constantly moving towards a brilliant future. Particularly delightful. I managed to rouse myself from an immensely comfortable bed earlier than usual, eager to explore more of the ship's wondrous facility. Is perfectly content to read his newspapers and conduct his various affairs from the comfort of our suite, which is a testament to the living room is furnished like a private salon with exquisite paneling and the softest carpets. I have my own dressing room, larger than my bedroom at Beechwood, and the bed, well, you know how particular I am about mattresses. It feels like sleeping on a cloud. John Jacob says no expense was spared, and it certainly shows. Before breakfast, I decided to venture to the gymnasium, which I heard so much about. It is truly remarkable. Located on the boat deck, it offers a sweet view of the ocean, which is quite space itself is right area. And gave me a brief tour. He showed me the electric horse, which one galloping, and which gently sways, both rather amusing, if it peculiar. They were also fascinating to see working up a gentlemanly sweat. I even saw Mr. Benjamin Guggenheim look dashing in his athletic attire, attempting to master the occasion. It is quite the novelty to have such facilities aboard a ship, demonstrating just how far maritime luxury has come. I rather find myself intrigued by the rowing machine. It's an excellent way to keep fit while at sea. I fully intend to return later this afternoon, perhaps before tea, to give it a proper try. One must remain active in this, admit some temptation, leisure, and culinary indulgence. After my visit to the museum, to in the soft morning light, I found myself seated at a charming table near a window, and imagine my surprise when Lady Lucille Duff Gordon joined me. She's quite the character, Mother, a truly for some time about New York society, which she finds amusing, and the rather scandalous tale of Parisian couture. Hang on one second here. Wink. Let's see if that makes it any better. She, guess not. She has a way of seeing right through the superficial. Find myself rather charmed by her candid observations about the other passengers. Out a certain gentleman, whose name I won't mention, and whispered Taylor thinks generous means this was superb. Fresh fruits, perfectly crisp bacon, Asian baker weep with envy, and the coffee was wonderfully strong. It is quite remarkable the scale of this operation to produce such fresh and varied meals of the Atlantic Ocean. It, it speaks volumes of the organization and dedication. Though later, then perhaps a turn on the promenade deck before dinner. The days unfold with a delicious rhythm of leisure and refined activity. There is a sense of utter tranquility here, a feeling that nothing could possibly disturb the perfect order of things. One could almost forget the bustling world outside, the worries, the demands. It's truly an escape, a suspended reality. I wish you were here to enjoy it with mother. I will write again soon, perhaps after I've conquered the electric camel. With much love, Madeline Astor, your devoted Madeline. She signs off. Let's see, what do we have next? Next, this is random. from the Titanic. I don't know if you can. Mm, I think this is difficult to see with the glare. Plastic protector sheets. Anyway, it says memorandum. It looks like a business form. RMS Titanic, April 12th, 1912. To Captain E.J. Smith, commanding officer, RMS Titanic, from subject report on discovery of deceased in first class cabin B-54. This memorandum is to formally apprise you of an incident discovered this morning at approximately 0800 hours. I was summoned to the first class passenger corridor on B deck by cabin steward to rouse the occupant who is serving as lady's maid to Miss Elise Fairchild of the adjacent suite. Stewart Rourke, presented as being professionally concerned, he stated that he had knocked several times with no response. And contrary to the occupant's usual habit of taking an early tea, the morning tray he noted that he had heard no sound from within the cabin all morning. Upon my arrival at the corridor at 0810 hours, I personally assessed the situation. The corridor was quiet, with the normal morning routines of the ship proceeding as expected. I can confirm the steward's report that the tea tray was cold and untouched. I knocked firmly on the door of B-54 myself on three separate occasions, announcing my title, and received no response. I then pressed my ear to the door and could discern no sound of movement or breathing. Following protocol for a non-responsive passenger who may be in distress, I made the decision to gain entry to the cabin. I must note a significant and, in my opinion, highly irregular detail for your records, sir. The door was found to be unlocked, and the lock responded to my key. As these locks can only be fully engaged from the exterior, it is my professional assessment that the occupant could not have locked the door herself in this manner after entering. I ensured that Steward Roy was present to witness this act, and he corroborate my account of the door being externally locked our entry. Hmm. The plot thickens, as they say. Must note otherwise undisturbed. The occupants' effects, such as clothing, books, and personal items were neatly stowed. Heavy leather travel case of the sort typically stored at the scene was intelligently constructed. The case had fallen from the wardrobe, striking the deceased and causing a fatal fall. Hmm. However, a closer inspection of the scene revealed details that I find to be inconsistent with this simple accidental falling case. Furthermore, the case itself was empty and therefore of insufficient. Upon a brief preliminary inspection of the victim prior to the arrival of the ship's surgeon, I noted a distinct lack of the bruising, contusions, or visible cranial trauma that would typically and invariably result from such an impact. Hmm. This troubling inconsistency was a small, clean puncture mark I discovered on the lower left abdomen. It is a small tear, no wider than a gentleman's tie pin, and could easily be overlooked. I did not disturb the victim's clothing to inspect the wound beneath, as I felt it was imperative to await the surgeon for a proper medical exam. Tidiness. The scene, in short, felt staged. The oversized case cast a piece of clumsy theatrical misdirection. I immediately summoned Dr. O'Loughlin to the scene, dispatching a junior steward with instructions to fetch him with the utmost discretion and speed. He is with the deceased now, conducting his. I have conducted a. He reported note seeing a gentleman whom he did not recognize, but described as being stern faced and impeccably dressed in evening wear. Hours. He stated the man's presence was unusual for that time of night in a passage primarily used by staff and those in the adjoining suites. To prevent any undue alarm among first class passengers whose confidence in the safety and order of this vessel is paramount, I have instructed the handful of staff with the knowledge of the incident to speak to the matter to know under and sanction of in New York. The official narrative preparing for the wider crew is that the poor woman, who was known to be in good health, suffered a sudden and tragic fainting, resulting in a of securing the personal effects that were on the victim's writing desk at the time of discovery. These items include a small handbag containing only minor personal effects of the Irish people in Ireland. These have been sealed in my office to be held as part of this inquiry for eventual return to these next kin, should that be deemed proper. The cabin itself to prevent disturbance pending your instructions. I believe the accidental narrative will suffice to sustain calm for the duration of the voyage. However, based on the aforementioned inconsistencies, namely the external locked door, the staged appearance of the room, the corresponding injuries, and the puncture mark on the victim's dress, I must respectively state my private conviction that this incident warrants a more thorough and discreet investigation. I await your direct orders on how you wish to proceed. With your permission, I will begin making quiet inquiries to identify the gentleman seen by Stuart Rourke, and will conduct a formal interview with Miss Fairchild regarding her maid's state of mind and recent activities. Respectfully submitted, Thomas King, Master at Arms, RMS Titanic. So, interesting that Miss Nora Flynn passed away. She certainly didn't get a photo here of our newest character. This is Miss Madeline Astor, okay, married to John Jacob Astor, a very well-to-do man. Madeline Talmadge Force Astor, she's age 19, was born into a distinguished New York family and has always moved with the highest echelon of American society. So, of course, she's expecting her first to be a grand, luxurious return to New York after a prolonged honeymoon in Europe. She has a room in the ship's glittering first class, and she embodies the insulated world of extreme wealth, where the daily routines of the ship, from the exotic gymnasium to the elegant dining saloons, are merely delightful novelties to be enjoyed. Very so. That is that concludes tonight's letter. letter and memorandum. So now we have a murder aboard the ship. Well, that didn't take very long, did it? All right. So next time we'll have another letter and hopefully more cool morning Beatles trivia called Beatles Significa. And then the end of June, I'll be going to Baltimore's 250th American birthday celebration, the end of June. And also, I'll be taking you to Baltimore's fireworks on the 4th of July. Now, I have some other things going on. I usually post my tours that are scheduled on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. Um, all, however, I put additional information on the Buy Me a Coffee platform. You can find a link to that on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel, and other please buy me a coffee. And also there is the other social media site. So um, I guess that's all I have. So until the next time, see ya. See you tomorrow.